Hey, how's everybody doing this evening? This is Johnny, and we're coming to you live, Johnny live. And I want to talk to you guys about something that has been there we go. Okay. So I want to come and talk to you guys about something that I have been noticing here lately. It's been kind of ramping up, and I see a pattern that's happening, and I want to just kind of focus on that. But before we do get started, I just want to encourage everybody to check me out on other platforms as well, Facebook, as well as Instagram and X, which is Twitter. And that's one of the platforms we're going to be talking about today. So that's kind of right on time. But let me take a look here and see if I am able to hear my audio because I just switched over to a different mic. And if you would, if you could share this or like this or give me some type of support, it costs nothing to support y'all. So I would definitely appreciate that. Make sure that I can hear audio. This is the crazy part. And I don't like to harp about things. I do tend to point things out. And maybe that hurts me or not, but I don't know. I think people need to know how you feel about certain things. Why am I not getting a good signal on my phone? Okay, let's cut that off. Okay, so just kind of waiting for people to tap in and I'm checking the audio. Why am I not getting a good signal? All right, there we go. Oh, okay, let's cut that off. Okay, so all right, that's perfect. So we are getting a live signal. And you guys can tap in. You can leave your comments. Don't be afraid to tap in because this is interactive. I want to be able to talk to you guys, but also as well as listen to some things and topics that you guys have or ideas, thoughts, and comments. So it's just not all about me. I did a podcast a while ago that talked about, oh yeah, before I get into that, let me say something, y'all. You know, like I said, I don't like to vent, but I do like to point things out. I just looked at my statistics today, and I'm not. I guess I could bring them up, but I'm not going to bring them up. But just looked at my statistics today, and the majority of the people watching my content is not even in Peoria. Like between Peoria and Chicago, it's like half. So basically, and it's very small. Like most people are watching my program is outside of Illinois. Very small percentage is watching it from here in Peoria. And Peoria is like 50-50. But that's down to like 17%. The rest of the 100% is somewhere outside of Illinois. That's crazy. Like I can't get no support from nobody in my hometown on this podcast. That's insane. And then you guys wonder why I always talk about this and I always talk about that. You guys don't like nothing. You don't share nothing. You don't support, do none of that. So even the topics that I have been very good. The format that I'm bringing you guys is very good on the next level. It's probably one of the best formats that I've seen on Facebook as far as the podcast. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, we're on so many platforms. And I bet you if I go to Spotify, I can guarantee everything that I have in the bank. If I go to Spotify and do the Matrix, like Peoria would be on the bottom. Peoria would be on the bottom. I don't know why y'all like that. Like you don't want nobody from your hometown to grow up and blow up and do bigger things on a bigger scale. So when I put this podcast together, I put it together to be outside of the city. And outside of the city is responding. Peoria is not responding at all. At all. Like I bet you 50% of the support that I get is from within this building. That's insane. I'm even getting other parts of the world. Then you break it down. I'm getting a lot of parts in here in the country. Peoria is small, very very small. That means nobody is even trying to support Peoria. Not hitting the like button, not hitting comments. Like that's insane. That's insane. But that's cool. I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, and hopefully people will tap in. But I don't get why y'all don't want. Like I got comedy. I can't get my comedy off the ground. Can't get nothing off the ground because Peoria don't want to support. That's insane. That just goes to show you, and I'm telling y'all this because I just looked at the statistics, the matrix, and Peoria is like bottom last. Peoria, Chicago is like 50%. So 50% of the people in Illinois watching my content is in Chicago. The other 50% is here in Peoria. That's insane. So to wrap it up, to sum it up to you, there is no reason for me to do a podcast here in Peoria. None. If you look at the statistics right now, there is no reason why I should do a podcast here in Peoria. None. There's no support. None. So I just want to throw that out there. Like, we have got to do better. We've got to do better as a people. Stop hating on the next person. And then you have somebody, and I'm not going to say his name, but he's not even from Peoria. And we'll tap on, we'll like, we'll send stars, we'll send hearts on this thing. And he's not even from Peoria. So anybody outside of Peoria, it don't matter what else you talk about. You good. You from Peoria, you got good issues, you're going to suffer unless you get outside of your city, because we are not trying to help nobody out unless we just really know them and we really fuck with them. But somebody else trying to do it, nothing, nada. The bottom line is there is no reason that I should be doing a podcast here in Peoria. None. And I've been doing podcasts for years. That's insane. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about my topic today. And y'all, this is crazy. Twitter is using, well, here's the thing. When Twitter was big. It was big and it was rising. And it was a platform that we as Black folks were switching over to, checking out Twitter, because Twitter was doing some really cool things with the videos and stuff like that and getting people to go viral. Twitter was the place to be, right? Most Black people didn't really, I mean, they did to an extent, Black Twitter and things like that. So they did kind of fuck with Twitter a little bit, but most Black people went to either Facebook, more than Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is popping. If you have any type of career, entertainment, anything, you're a stripper, you're a rapper, you're supposed to be on Instagram, because Instagram is where it's at. If you try to do a show or whatever, they want to see if you got followers, they're going to check on Instagram. Facebook don't mean nothing. And that's what I'm saying. We bottomed out Facebook. Facebook really don't mean nothing as far as you trying to get your career popping, unless you're going viral. Facebook really don't mean nothing. It's about Instagram. It's about Instagram. Now TikTok is the next level. All the Black folks moving over to TikTok because TikTok is helping people go famous and it's blowing people up, and then they paying people to advertise. My partner is being paid to advertise from Twitter. So Twitter is booming right now. Twitter is booming. Snapchat is booming. So these platforms are booming. Twitter was supposed to be in that realm, and it did get to a point where it kind of got in that realm to where Twitter was kind of blowing up. Okay, but here's the thing. When the new owner took over Twitter, he did some things that really kind of threw us off as far as allowing like a lot of racist content on Twitter. Like if you go on Twitter, you're gonna see, and it's allowed, that it's a lot of racist content. On Facebook, they monitor it. On Instagram, Facebook and Instagram is kind of the same, under the same blanket, I believe, same people. So they kind of monitor it. Same with TikTok. TikTok is overseas, but they kind of monitor it. You can't go on you can't go on TikTok talking crazy and it's gonna fly. They're gonna block it, they're gonna shut it down, they'll give you a few warnings, gonna be like, you're done with it. Ain't no racist shit here over on Twitter, ain't no racist shit on none of these other platforms. So, but Twitter, because it's ran by Elon Musk, who happens to be kind of far right, allows a lot of that shit to go on. Allows a lot of racism to go on over there. A lot. So we didn't really fuck with Twitter, especially after it was taken over by Elon Musk, to just start following. And then Twitter is they're charging you to have a certain status in your account. So we really don't want to fuck with that. We really don't want to pay to be on no platform, right? If it ain't free, we ain't fucking with it. But here's the thing you have to understand. When it's free, like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, it's not, you're not using the product. You are the product. You're the product. So it's not about you use the product or have the product. You're the product. Yes, they're giving it to you for free, but when you agree to that, you're agreeing to be monitored. You're agreeing to be your information to be used for certain things. Like if you're talking to someone with your cell phone, like the other day I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, I kind of, I got the 360. I was like, yeah, I kind of want to do something else with like the selfie and all that. And I was talking to a few people about it. It took a couple of days, but then I started seeing advertisement about what I wanted to do. So they're monitoring what you look at. They're monitoring what you're interested in, and then they're selling it back to you. They're enticing you. Oh, you want this? You really want this? Like if you say you're gonna sell some t-shirts, just kind of use an experiment. Even if you don't, say for the next couple of days, like, man, say to somebody that I want to sell t-shirts. Say to somebody that I want to make t-shirts. And within 3 days, they'll start marketing t-shirts to you. They'll start marketing t-shirt makers to you. So they're monitoring, they can hone down on who you are. Algorithms is what they call it, can hone down on who you are and what you like, and then sell it to you. That's direct marketing. They don't have to spend money trying to advertise to everybody about the set, because some people might not be interested in selling t-shirts. I don't care about selling t-shirts. I don't care about making sweaters. I can go buy them. So that's where a lot of advertisers lose a lot of money, because they have to blanket to a lot of people. But Facebook is a whole new world with its algorithms. They'll advertise to you. So some things you see on your Facebook page, they're not advertising to everybody. They're only advertising that to you because they know that you're interested in that. So it's direct marketing. Same thing like with Kroger's. They try to do it with the Kroger's card. Every time you go to Kroger's, you swipe your card. And I'm getting to a point. Fuck with me. I'm getting to a point. Kroger's card. Every time you go to Kroger's and you swipe that card, then they're monitoring what you buy. Yes, they'll give you a discount, but again, you're not getting the product. You're the product. So you're happy you're getting the deal, but you're the product. It makes more sense to them to lose a few dollars up front to have you zoned in for life. So when they start using that card, okay, Miss Smith bought Pampers today. So when they go advertising, they don't need to advertise Pampers to everybody. They're going to only advertise Pampers to you because they know that you're interested in Pampers. That makes sense? But here's the thing. You can let somebody else use your Kroger's card. My son uses my Walgreens card. So it's all over the place. That's you know, it can kind of work, but it's all over the place. But algorithms are dead on. Algorithms are dead on. Algorithms know more about you than your husband or wife knows about you. I'm going to say that again. Algorithms know more about you than your husband, your wife, and your best friend will ever know about you, because they're not there when you sitting hitting on things and you liking stuff. When even you liking stuff on Facebook, tells algorithms about you. It's building a profile about you. Miss Smith like this. She like that funny joke. She like this. She like that. She like this. She like that. And they're building who you are. Your husband's not there every day building who you. Your husband don't even want to talk to you sometimes. When you come home upset or whatever, he don't even want to talk to you sometimes. But you jump on Facebook and you liking stuff. You jump on Twitter, you liking stuff. It's building a profile of who you are. It's listening to what you want to do. It's listening to what your aspirations are. So it know more about you than somebody who's been with you for 10, 20 years. It know what color you like. It know what your birthday is. It know who you bank with. It know who you creeping with. Algorithms know all of that. So it hones down on who you are. That's why they give you Facebook for free. That's why they give you Snapchat for free. That's why they give you TikTok for free, especially a China state. That's why they're giving it to you for free, because they want to know who you are. They want to know how they can maximize their spending dollars to advertise to you to get you to spend more money. They know who you are, and that's powerful. There's companies that make money off of that. Facebook makes us money off of selling information on who you are. You're the product. So understand that first. Now, going back to Twitter, Twitter had to think of a way to get us as Black people over to their platform. And it's not easy to take us away from what we love. We love Facebook. We love Twitter, or we love Facebook. We love Instagram. We love YouTube in some cases. We love all of that. It's hard to get us to come over to something, especially if we know that it ain't really for us. It's kind of racist. So it ain't really for us. So it's hard for us to switch over. So now what I see they're doing is they're using little sex clips, porn clips. Not even a full video. It's a sometimes a 30-second video clip, a minute video clip, a 3-minute video clip, a porn clip. And I'm going to tell you how I know it works. Just the other day, somebody said I'm addicted to Twitter. I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard that a Black person say they're addicted to Twitter. And the reason why she says she's addicted to Twitter, because they keep throwing out those porn videos. And it's going to get people to be addicted to Twitter. How many people have tapped onto those porn videos today alone? Yeah. See what I'm saying? So all day today, you've been watching porn without even knowing it. I mean, you knew it, but you didn't look at it like that. You just looking at it, oh, I'm curious. I want to see what's going on. I want to see what's going on. But all day today, you've been watching porn. That's dangerous. I don't know if y'all catch news a lot, but they just went to Congress about the dangers of internet. They just went to Congress about the dangers of internet. And they left out there cool. They didn't do nothing. Congress didn't change nothing. They just want to know a few answers. What you doing about our kids? Because it's not just us, it's the kids. The kids have the same access on Facebook as you do. So if you spend all day watching porn, guess what your kids did? We got kids. One of my kids called me from school today on their phone. iPhone. So they have the same access as you have. There should be an outrage about it. They desensitizing us. They putting in little funny clips. Oh, look at old girl. Look what she did. Or Suki. They got rappers, because first it was rappers who did it. Sexy Red. Go check the comments for Sexy Red. Getting ate out or getting fucked. Go check the comments of Sexy Red. And then Suki did it. I bet you they got a bag to do that. Go check out Sexy Suki getting fucked. Go check it out. That jumped it off. We all went to go check it out. We want to see these stars getting fucked. We want to see, what they look like getting fucked. Guess who did that first? And it was an accident when they did it first. It was Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Like it was an accident. I don't know if I don't know if there's something they put together, but it was honed as an accident. And it blew Kim up, made her famous, made Ray J famous. So they seen that. They was like, okay, yeah. They want to see rappers in entertainment get fucked. So they got the perfect people, Sexy Red and Suki. And Suki, I think she did like 2 more videos after that. And they both probably blowing up. She getting paid. So they already understand that. Now they putting no-name people just out there throwing out porn videos. So we're going to watch this video, and I want y'all to understand that there's dangers in porn. I get it that it's just a video and it's fun to watch. It's something to laugh about with your friends. But can you imagine that us as a society, especially Black folks, sitting here watching porn all day? There has never been a time in our existence where we sat and watched porn all day. But Twitter is using it to build their platform. That's evil. We're going to watch this video because I want y'all to see that, not just me talking about it. I want y'all to see what other people say about it. Watch this. And like I said, thank you for whoever that was elected. Thank you for that. Make sure that y'all tapping in and liking it and sharing it. But I want y'all.
Billion-dollar industry that can be devastating to relationships and sexual health. Technology is giving more people, mostly men, easy access to pornography. Local 10 medical specialist Christy Kruger looks at the long-term effects on the brain and how specialists are helping men escape their addiction.
I would watch porn for 15 to 30 minutes a day, every day, all through my teenage years.
29-year-old Gabe Deem admits he had a problem that started surprisingly early.
I was first exposed to porn when I was 8 years old.
The older he got, the more he watched.
I went to a high school that gave all their students their own laptops. And we first figured out how to play video games, and the second thing we did was figure out how to watch porn on them.
The addictive habit started affecting his adult relationships.
It was horrible. They thought it was them. You know, a partner will think they're not attractive enough. And again, that's completely not the case.
Neurosurgeons have actually studied the brains of people who watch porn, and they found that the brain gets rewired. It starts to crave things like pixels rather than people.
Literally anything the individual imagines can be produced within a few clicks. And so it's that novelty that drives this tremendous search for variety.
Craving that novelty can be defined as an addiction.
Someone that's addicted to cocaine, when they see a line of cocaine, the reward center of their brain on functional MRI or fMRI lights up like a Christmas tree. And an interesting study out of Cambridge University looked almost identical to cocaine with individuals that considered themselves addicted to porn.
But medical health experts say it's not really a true addiction.
People can die if they are not weaned off drugs or alcohol. So physiologically, the same thing is not happening when you stop a sex or porn problem versus when you stop a drug or alcohol problem. It's 2 different processes, which is why we can't label it as an addiction.
Gabe stopped watching porn 6 years ago and turned back to the internet for some help. But some experts say parents can really offer the best support.
Talk to the child about avoiding internet porn as much as possible, because what they're viewing isn't representative of what they're going to experience in the real world, and encourage them to form real life healthy relationships, and when they're ready, sexual relationships.
With your special health report, I'm Christy Kruger, Local 10 News.
Like, that's insane. Y'all have to understand, there's always been a talk about them breaking down relationships between a man and a woman. This is going to be one of those things is going to break down a relationship between a man and a woman. Because a man getting addicted to porn, because men watch this too. Men click on it. I'm not gonna lie, I was clicking on it. Ooh, I had to stop. I was like, hold on, slow down. Because every time I seen one of those, I would click. I had a lady today on Facebook who said, every time I see one of those videos, I click on it. So every time if it came up 10 times a day, she watching porn 10 times a day. What do you think that's gonna do for her shit with men? I'm not talking about like after a week, but after years and years and years about this, how is that gonna make a relationship with men? Or a guy. He may not even be interested in the female anymore, especially if the female ain't as bad as some of the baddies I see on these videos, because they're not gonna use, if you're not a 10, an 8, 9, 10, they're not gonna use you in no porno flick. So if I'm constantly looking at 8, 9s, and 10s all day, what am I thinking about my wife who ain't an 8, 9, 10? She's a 6. My brain is not going to be attracted to her because I'm looking at 8, 9s, and 10s all freaking day. That's the danger of it. We are putting ourselves in a situation to where we don't even understand it. And we're not trying to understand it. All we know is we getting our rocks off watching porn all day. Thank you, Rhonda. Sharonda, I'm gonna show you guys another video, and I want y'all to really, really watch this video. That video was good, but I want you to see this other video. This other video blew me away, and I want y'all to take a look at it. Share this with y'all friends, y'all, because we got to stop this trend of us sitting and watching porn all day. Okay, so watch this, y'all. This is gonna be crazy. Y'all thought that video was crazy.
And it's a non-trivial technological problem. You know, it's now possible for young men to look at more beautiful nude women in one day than any man has ever seen, you know, prior to 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Listen to what he said. That one of the biggest dangers is men never in history have been able to look at beautiful women. And like I said, it's going to be beautiful women. Y'all, some of y'all females, y'all laughing now because it's cool. Your husband looking at, but guess what? He looking at beautiful women who made up, who got the sexiest shit, who ain't got no rolls. I ain't never seen, unless they doing BBW, but I have yet to see one of these porno flicks where they're using BBWs, a woman who has a little extra here. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't watched them all, but I haven't seen that yet. So what do you think your husband will look at you and you got a few extra rolls? Okay, you got to understand that. They're going to look at you a little bit different, maybe, because they so used to looking at beautiful women all day long. Okay, we're gonna listen to what he said.
You know, because it's super satiation, and it's a non-trivial technological problem. You know, it's now possible for young men to look at more beautiful nude women in one day than any man has ever seen, you know, prior to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, than any man in history had ever seen. That's not nothing. That's something. And to think that doesn't do anything to you, it's like, no, that likely does something to you.
What would you say are things that men need to be focusing in on when it's trying to select a woman for a long-term marriage partner?
Well, you want someone honest. That's really, really important. Someone who will do her best to tell the truth. And my wife swore she'd do that before we got married, and she has. Probably better than I have. And so that's a rock, man, at the bottom of things, you know. So and you can't underplay the role of sexual attraction. And that's a mysterious thing. And so that's crucial as far as I'm concerned, and can't be. So
I have
just,
a real
you know,
question about that, Dr. Peterson. So you mentioned pornography, and we do countless pieces of content to be able to help young men overcome that issue and provide tons of resources to help them support them. So what I've noticed that happens sometimes is because of years of watching pornography, the men's sexual attraction becomes warped. And so how can a man whose sexual attraction to women has become warped to the extreme ends due to so much consumption of pornography, how can that man go back to now being attracted to, more natural looking women or more women that could be around their lives instead of the projected?
Well, deprivation is helpful.
Yeah.
So I think it's reasonable to assume that there's a novelty edge in pornography, like there is in so many quasi-addictive phenomena. And so it has to become, because novelty is a sexual kick, it has to stay novel, and that means that over time it's going to become more extreme. So that's not good. Well, so how do you resensitize yourself in some sense? Well, you stop. You stop. And then hopefully you recover. And then you deprive yourself of that outlet, let's say. And you might say, well, is that absolutely necessary? And maybe there's nothing wrong with pornography. It's like, well, I don't know, man. Like, have you ever really met a guy who is proud of that? Like, you know what I mean? That makes him feel like, I'm the guy, man. I'm watching pornography and getting off. It's like, what a man. I don't believe anyone feels that. And to me, maybe I'm wrong. And to me, that's an indication that, yeah, we know. No, it's pretty cheap. It's cheap. It's easy. And, I say that knowing that I believe the research evidence shows that if you introduce pornography into a community, that rates of sexual crime committed by men upon women actually decline. So there is perhaps some utility in the outlet. But, that's a unidimensional analysis and doesn't take into account all the other effects of pornography. Yeah. So, including the ones you described. And I think that those are real. It makes sense that they're real, because it's super satiation. And it's a non-trivial technological problem. It's now possible for young men to look at more beautiful nude women in one day than any man has ever seen, prior to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, than any man in history had ever seen.
So let me ask y'all women. I'm gonna pause for a minute. Let me ask y'all women. If you're trying to marry somebody, would you want somebody who sits there constantly all day and watch porn? Because how many of y'all like go on dates and everybody is on their phone like this? Right? And this was before the Twitter started putting out porn. Now, when you go on dates, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be sitting there looking at porn. Like, is that okay with y'all? You gotta think about that. Is that gonna be okay? Or a female? If a female sitting on her phone like this all day, and you're trying to get to know her, you're trying to talk to her, but she's sitting like this all day looking at porn. Oh, did you see the Twitter thing? Look at his Twitter. Look at his Twitter thing. Look what she did to him on Twitter. Look. Look at this. And all day you're sitting on porn, watching porn. Like he said before, it's never been a time in history that Black men or men were able to look at beautiful women like this, a multiple too. And this is before Twitter. This was actually recorded before Twitter started doing what they're doing. If you go on a porn website, you get choices of who you want to watch. If you're women, if you like how the big women, you could choose big women. You could choose BBW, women with like a couple rows. Not on Twitter. Twitter is only showing beautiful women. That's it. That's it. So I'm just saying, you better be prepared if you're female to have to be beautiful, slim, ass and titties on ping pow, makeup done, because this is what they're gonna be so used to watching. If y'all don't think this is a problem, because if I go in the club right now, half the women are I'm not saying, and I'm not knocking no women, but half the women have decent bodies. Maybe 10% of the women have boom, bop, ping bodies. Like you'd be like, damn. But a lot of the women got like stomachs. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a woman. Women have pouches and stomachs and extra, here and extra there and all that stuff like that. But I've never walked into a club where every single woman was a 10. And these women on these porns are 10. That's how they get chosen, because they're a 10. A 9 or a 10. That's what you're going to have to compete with, a 9 or 10. And not only that, with guys, you got to compete with people or guys that are you know what I'm saying, are packing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get real. Because this is what females going to be used to looking at all day is, damn, packing. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to be either him or better than him, or you're not going to meet up to her standards, because this is what she being advertised to all day long, as people who pack it. That's what they showing on Twitter.
That's not nothing. That's something.
That's
and
not
to think
nothing.
that doesn't do anything to you, it's like, no, that likely does something to you. So don't substitute the false for the real. And don't underestimate the utility of deprivation. What do we need to drive us forward to have the adventure of our life? Well, some deprivation. I'm
gonna stop right there real quick. Some relationships and marriages have been broken up because of porn. So we're starting to go down this trend to where porn is becoming a daily part of our life without even knowing it. We laughing, we joking, but we're introducing porn into our life. And I haven't even like I said, I mentioned it before, but guess who else got access to Facebook and Twitter? Our kids. Our kids. That's what y'all not thinking. Y'all laughing. Y'all giggling, sharing it, blowing this shit up. And guess who else got access to it? Our kids. We're going to make them porn addicts before they even become 18.
For sure. That heightens desire and drive. And maybe you need that. You're afraid to approach a woman. Well, you remove part of your drive with pornography. And so now you don't have that sexual urge to overcome that anxiety. And so you stay timid for your entire life. Maybe not, but maybe.
So with 12 rules for life and also with Beyond Order, you've amassed so many amazing rules that I just think it's just so phenomenal. One of my favorites is Rule 4 and 12 Rules for Life. Don't compare yourself to others. Where others are today, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And so in your opinion, obviously, there's so many rules that are great, but what do you think is probably, if somebody was to read those books and there's one rule that you're like, this rule out of the 24 I've given you over these past few years, you can absolutely not get this one wrong, which rule would that be?
Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Because you can't tell the truth, right? Because who are you?
And listen to what he said. The number one rule is to tell the truth. If you're in a marriage and you're sitting back watching porn, are you really being truthful to your wife? Are you really, honestly, if you're watching porn 10, 15, 20 times a day because you're clicking on those sites, are you really being honest? So that point alone breaks, it destroys that. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest to your wife, your husband. Right there, just that little part that they're feeding us every day, you're breaking down that one thing he said in life is to be honest and be truthful. Because you're not being honest, you're not being truthful, because you're looking at another woman all day. That's a form of cheating. If you didn't know that, that's a form of cheating. You see, if the internet is so new, it was so new that it allowed people to cheat without even knowing that they was cheating, without even knowing what they was doing. Facebook was so new that a lot of marriages was being broke up because you were talking to your ex from high school. Oh, hey, how you doing? She ain't about. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm married. Hey, and remember this time when we did this and we was fucking back in the in Texas? You're cheating. I learned that the hard way. You're cheating. You're carrying on another relationship outside of your marriage. So it's introducing cheating, and we didn't even know it. We were just doing just communicating, texting. You're cheating.
To tell the truth. That's a mighty tall order, man. But you can stop saying things that you know are lies, and that will change your life if you do that. And it's crucial.
Why would it change their life?
Well, how can you adapt to reality when you falsify it? And you think, well, I'm just lying to other people. No, you're not. You can't just lie to other people, because what you say becomes you, especially if you practice it. Because we build ourselves out of words. And that can be lies in action too. It's like, don't say things you know to be false. That's a good start, man. And it aligns yourself with the truth. And like, how can that be a bad idea? Imagine that what is true reflects reality, which is sort of the definition of true. How can failing to align yourself with reality work? How is that possibly going to work? Well, you say, well, I can, if I lie, I get away with something. It's like, no, you don't. I tell you, I swear this is true. In all of my clinical practice, I have never, ever seen anyone ever get away with anything even once. You think the chickens won't come home to roost. It's like, all that means is you're too stupid to see what your lies caused, or too blind or too self-deceptive. You just don't see it. And so you don't get away with anything, nothing. It's terrifying to actually understand that. It's terrifying. What if you can't get away with anything, ever? Well, that's the judgmental God, fundamentally. That's a very old idea, and it's an old idea for a reason. And of course you can't get away with anything, because imagine that you took a flexible plastic comb, and you bent it backwards, and you say, well, I got away with that. It's like, well, what's going to happen when you let go? It's going to snap back and hit you in the face. And that's life, man. You warp the structure of reality. You think you are someone who can warp the structure of reality with your words and get away with it? Really?
And this, what he's saying right there, it goes back to watching porn. You're warping reality. And do you honestly think that you can carry on like that? Do we honestly think that we can carry on with like healthy relationships when we're warping reality? The reality is a lot of females ain't gonna do what they do in porns. The reality is a lot of females don't look like they look in pornos. That's the reality. And we trying to warp it by watching these pornos. Twitter is trying to warp our sense of reality just to get us to want to be on their site. And a lot of us ain't even signed up for Twitter. We sign up for Twitter to watch the videos, because I think if you're not a part of Twitter, in order to watch those videos, you have to sign up for Twitter. They're killing the game right now. Killing it. If you go, I bet you, mark my words, in 2 weeks, Twitter will come out and they'll be like, we hit records. In 2 weeks, watch. Andrea, thank you for tapping in. Mark my words. Andrea, you my homegirl. Mark my words. In 2 weeks, Twitter will come out and say we hit records. We hit records higher than Facebook as far as new signups. Mark my words. And you know what that's going to do? It's going to give Elon Musk a bag. A bag. Mark my words. 2 weeks. I'm not saying a month. Because when black folks get a hold of something, remember I told y'all, black eyes is what run America. Whatever we put our eyes on is what's popping. Tubi, for example. Whatever black folks put their eyes on, black eyes run this bitch. 2 weeks. Whatever we put our eyes on, because when we do that, when we put our eyes on something, they ain't even got to advertise no more. It's done. Rap. Ain't got to advertise. Ain't got to spend no money on advertising. Tubi, we ain't got to spend no money on advertising. Twitter, we ain't got to spend no money on advertising. Because when we put our eyes on, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. We could use social media to run the world, to run this bitch. But we don't. We don't. They know that. They're exploiting that fact. Because they know we're not going to work together. They know we're not going to share ideas. This positive ass podcast right now is not going to get no hits. It's not going to get no shares. It's not going to get no likes. Because we don't want to do that. Facebook can make me famous tomorrow. I wake up in the morning, 1 million views, I'm famous. I'm telling everybody in the world about this now. We're not going to do that. And they know that. They know that. It's our eyes. Whatever we put our eyes on is going to blow the fuck up. Fox back in the days, In Living Color, Rock, New York Undercover. Whatever we put our eyes on, that blew Fox up to where Fox is now Fox News. And if you watch Fox News, everybody on that bitch rich. Is Rock rich? Is In Living Color? Are those stars rich? Are they rich? No. They start ripping up their contracts. We don't need y'all no more. And then we don't need y'all no more. It took our eyes. And they blew it up, and they using that concept to further exploit us and get the money, get the bag. We're gonna listen to the rest of what he said.
No, man, that should terrify you right to the core of your soul. You're not God. You can't do that.
Dr. Peterson, you said that you've never seen someone get away with lying.
Anything.
What do you mean by that? Because I can imagine if somebody listening to this right now who said, well, I haven't told the truth and I got away with plenty of things in my past. What do you mean by that?
And everything is right in your life. Everything is just the way you want it to be. That's how it is it? Yeah, sure. And good. If find someone like that, great. But I've never seen anyone like that. And psychopaths, they have no conscience. They lie all the time. Well, how do they get away with it? They don't. They have to move because people figure out who they are and then they have to move on. And so you could say, well, that's getting away with it. It's like, well, no long-term relationships, no love, no trust, no brotherly affection, no friends, and generally no financial success, not in the real sense. How is that getting away with it? And then you might say, well, I've got away with it so far. It's like, maybe you have, and maybe you're just too dim to see the consequences because you've blinded yourself, and God only knows who you could have been if you wouldn't have lied your way to where you are now. No, I've never seen it. And sometimes I'd work with someone to untangle what had happened to them over multiple years as things fell apart. And we'd find all sorts of lies, not always ones they told, but sometimes lies their parents told them, for example, that deep, dark, terrible things, messing things up in an unbelievably catastrophic and tragic way. Now, it was absolutely terrifying. But I can't see how it just doesn't make sense. It's like, how could you possibly defend the idea that you could warp the structure of reality and get away with it? I mean, who, like I said, who do you think?
How can you believe that you can warp the sense of reality and get away with it? I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. How can you possibly believe that you can warp the sense of reality and get away with that? And that's exactly what y'all doing. What we doing when we watching porn. We're warping the sense of reality, and there's consequences to that. And you might not see it today, but watch along the road, along the way, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see what it's gonna start doing. It's gonna start breaking down relationships. People, we're into a time right now. This is the time right now where relationships are going to be different. They're going to change for the rest of our lives. What's up? What's up, Dewan? You remember Dewan when we was in high school and you said I had all the girls. I had the Mac. I had to work, get all the girls. Ooh, I had that Mac. I had that. That was then. Times have changed. This right here is going to change things forever. I don't know if a lot of y'all remember like life before Facebook. Life before FB, we're going to call it. Life before Facebook. See how Facebook changed relationships? See how Facebook changed dating? You see all that? Twitter is about to change things forever. Sexual, the way that we desire women, the way that we look at women. Twitter is about to change all of that. And they're doing it it's been people since I've been on this website who's probably done watched 2 or 3 porns. The time I've been on here for 52 minutes. It's probably people out there that's switched over, clicked off of this, or not even clicked on this and watched 2 or 3 porns since then. Can you imagine that? It's probably gonna be people watching porn at work. They'll be watching Twitter things. There's probably gonna be people watching porn as opposed to watching their kids. Just watching porn all day. It's gonna be they're mainstreaming porn. Porn was never meant to be mainstream like that. Why? Because it's addictive. It hurts relationships. They don't care about none of that. The only thing they care about is getting that bag. So I hope a few of y'all heard this and you liking this. I didn't get a whole lot of likes, but like I said, it's that we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I said at the beginning of the program, Peoria is the lowest viewed or lowest interactive city that I get as far as people who watch my shit. There is no reason right now for me to do podcasts in Peoria where we could blow black people can blow me up tomorrow, where I'll be famous tomorrow. Be on Good Morning America. We're not gonna do that. They know we're not gonna do that. But when it comes to porn, negativity, fighting, hurting somebody, we're gonna blow all that shit up. Remember what I said? 2 weeks, you're gonna see a post. Twitter is the biggest site ever. And it's when they driving it with porn. Destroying our minds, destroying our kids' minds with porn. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. My name is Johnny. I got other things to do. I'm gonna get out of here. If you didn't see this, you can always rewind it and watch it back. Leave your comments, leave your questions, leave your suggestions. If you are on YouTube, I'm talking to YouTube now because I'm also on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure that you're sharing this post. Make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. Cool. And if you're on X, I'm sorry, Twitter, I had to put that out there, but they not worried about that because they know ain't nobody going. They know we ain't trying to hear that shit. They're gonna get way more hits than I will as far as this. They're gonna get way more hits with porn. So I'm not that big, so that's not worried. They're not gonna worry about that. So I'm not even gonna apologize because what y'all doing, I think, is truly wrong. And y'all could have found a different way to just cater to black people. But they're not interested in it. They're interested in destroying your mind, destroying your kids' minds. Okay. Let me say this for an example. Say it's a young man. Okay, say you're a parent with a daughter. And the dude that she want to take to prom now has been watching porn all day, constantly all day because he look at Twitter all day. Now he's taking your daughter out. You think he'll take her out and be like, oh, let's have a good time. Let's go to the movie. No, he can be thinking about trying. Excuse my language. He can be thinking about trying to fuck. It's going to change the way that we deal with relationships forever. Ain't no more young man coming over, young man, how you going to take my daughter, bring her back? No, this young man, from the time you pick your daughter up, he going to be thinking about the most nastiest ways to try to fuck as he possibly can. And that's the reality of it, G. That's the reality. You may not want to hear me say it, but that's the reality. That's what you're going to be dealing with. Nice looking young man, you don't know how long he been on Twitter all day watching this shit that we promoting, we sharing. So we giving it to him. We blowing it up for him. So just keep that in mind. All right, my name is Johnny. I'm out. Thank y'all for watching.